Jai Gurudev. Question: what is Laya Yoga and Raj Yoga? Answer: during Laya Yoga, the mind merges with any object of meditation. In the traditional terminology of spiritual practices in India, Laya Yoga means to concentrate on the sound that arises within and to merge into that sound. People on the path of Shaktipat do not need to do any specific efforts to hear the inner sound. As they do sadhana, the sound, which is a kind of kriya of Shakti, begins to emanate by itself. When the mind spontaneously concentrates on the sound in the form of a kriya, Laya Yoga occurs. Let us now consider Raj Yoga. Most people following a different yoga path believe that their path is Raj Yoga, which means the king of yoga paths. But further consideration reveals that Raj Yoga is a natural state of mind or psyche. As long as the psyche is loaded with the impressions, the chit is in an unnatural state. The essential components of the natural states are the elimination of all impressions, the experience of self knowledge, and a sense of falsehood of the world. After Shaktipat, the impressions are cleared by doing sadhana. If one acts with detachment, new impressions will not be accumulated. The falsehood of the world becomes evident, knowledge of the self is attained, and the natural state of Raj Yoga occurs. Question: what are the demonic powers that are said to be obstacles to sadhana? Answer: in reality, the demonic powers are the impressions on the chit. They precipitate obstacles, difficulties, and hardships. Depending on one's impressions, vasanas or tendencies develop. Mental modifications occur based on those tendencies. Modifications of mind constitute quality of mind, and mental resolves determine karma. The mental impressions take the form of destiny and present an individual soul with happiness or unhappiness, suitable or unsuitable circumstances. Thus, the soul is shackled by impressions which are a kind of demonic power. Shakti never changes, no matter what one's impressions are, it continues to work. Sometime it is called divine and sometime it is called demoniac. Question: some books say that an aspirant attains self-realization within 12 years of Shaktipat. But some disciples who took Diksha 20, 30 or 50 years ago have made virtually no progress. Can you explain this? Answer: the scriptures do say that an aspirant of the lowest grade can attain realization in 12 years, the low grade in 9 years, the medium grade in 6 years, and the best disciples can attain the self realization in 3 years. Generally, however, aspirants do not fall into any of these four categories. An ordinary aspirant remains in the primary state only because he or she does not maintain the necessary level of surrender, detachment, and continuous sadhana. People may talk a lot about spirituality without moving beyond the preliminary stage. They remain contented with their commonplace life and are not willing to make the needed changes. Thus, their spiritual journey tends to be very lengthy. They do not perform actions with an attitude of service, and their sense of detachment remains unsteady. Their ego prohibits true surrender, making continuous sadhana impossible. These aspirants do not belong to any of the four categories mentioned above. Question: what is the difference between memory and sanskars or vasanas? Answer: sanskars are impressions of good and bad experiences on the psyche or chit. These impressions generally take the form of mental tendencies, thoughts, and mental resolves. They also take form as destiny when they are strengthened. When they arise from storehouse of impressions, they create waves of past memories related to experiences, circumstances, and people. The accumulated impressions or sanskars take the form of memory waves through the medium of vasanas or mental tendencies. After Shaktipat initiation, the accumulated impressions do not take the form of destiny, nor do they arise and manifest as vasanas, memory, or modifications of mind. Instead, they become kriyas during meditation and are thus reduced. Question: how does the awakening of Kundalini purifies impressions? Answer: this clarifies the preceding answer. After Shaktipat, Shakti starts to move in an infolding direction. During sadhana, Shakti has no work to do, so it excavates the impressions and prevents the formation of destiny and vasanas. It turns them directly into kriyas and eliminates their power. If the aspirant is not attached to the kriyas, new impressions will not be accumulated. Impressions accumulate because of attachment. When that cause is absent, no new impressions are accumulated and the chitta is purified. Question: does one need to do samyam or practice mental control over the senses to dissolve the five elements into their causal factors? Answer: the five elements dissolve into their causal factors not because of sanyam on the senses, but because of the infolding reverse journey of Shakti towards its source. Sanyam is helpful only in the creating detachment from worldly pleasures and objects. Sanyam is essential for spiritual progress, since the absence of detachment can put many obstacles in the path of inward journey of Shakti. The fullest detachment from the world and the greatest spiritual benefit are contained only within the inward journey of Shakti. As the Shakti progresses inward, first the senses dissolve into the causal mind, the mind dissolves into intellect, intellect into ego, and ego into chit. The five elements also dissolve. The dissolution of elements at an individual level occurs only after impressions are purified. Initially, kriyas occur because of impressions. After the impressions are cleared, kriyas take place on the basis of the elements. Question. What is the distinction between mind and intellect? Answer. Mind and intellect are two kriyas of chit that occur with the support of Shakti. The mind consists of kriyas of resolve and dissolving the resolves. Intellect is the process of thinking. In common worldly people, the intellect controls the mind, whereas in jnani and evolved people, the mind is in control of the intellect. Question. What is the meaning of restless or vikshipt prana? Answer. Prana is neither restless nor at peace. It neither progresses nor falls. The prana will be more active when the chit has many impressions and the Shakti has more work to do. That extremely active state of prana is said to be restless or vikshipt. To eliminate this restlessness of the prana, impressions must be removed. An aspirant's duty involves nothing more than clearing impressions by letting Shakti work without interference. Jai Gurudev.